Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Players Take, episode 148. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host. He's excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Montrell Rice.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, my swag is off today. My energy is off today. It's Monday. We
Montrell,
don't
you don't
normally
have to
record.
call it out, dude. Like you're like preempting. You're setting expectations for people. Okay, like you should have just rolled into the show and just done the show normally, and no
Well,
one would have noticed.
Okay. Well, we can start over. You want to start over?
No. We're rolling now. I mean, you've let him. You've opened the kimono. As other podcasts I've heard would say. And no, we're just gonna roll, dude. I'm in the mood. I'm already in the show flow. Like we're not fuck it. I'm not starting over. So, that's just gonna be in there. All right, Macho. We're getting straight to business this week. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the Players Take. This is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us a question, you can do so at the Players Take on Twitter, or you can send us an email to the Players Take 01@gmail.com. So, we told you guys last week, the Game Awards was recording right in the middle, or was happening right in the middle of our normal recording time on Thursday, which was the worst possible thing imaginable. So we didn't cover the Game Awards. That is what this episode is going to be about. Next week, so that would be, let me see, let me get my dates right here. The 24th, Christmas Eve, will be a normal episode of the show where we talk about news and, talk about games we're playing, all that fun jazz. And then the 31st, New Year's Eve, will be our Game of the Year discussion, but it's going to be a little different than years past. We're not going to have a ranked list like we usually do. It's going to be more of a kind of free-form conversation where we just talk about games that we enjoyed this year because, to be frank, Montrell and especially myself, I don't even know if I've played 5 games this year that came out this year that I liked enough to put on a Game of the Year list. So we'll just talk about some of the stuff we've played, whether, to be honest, I might even go in just good, bad, whatever, just kind of circle back on some conversations that may have never been finished throughout the year. So look forward to that. And then the 7th, January 7th, our first episode of next year will be our preview of the year for 2022, which honestly, given everything coming out next year that we know about already, that is going to be a fucking banger of an episode probably. So look forward to that one. So Montrell, we're talking about the Game Awards here. Let's just jump right into it. I have a blog post that I'm going to be running through, and we're just going to go game by game. We're going to try to hit this pretty fast. So if you don't have anything to say about a game that I mentioned, we can just move right along. So let's start with the first one. This was in the pre-show. At some point, this transitions into the regular show. I have no idea when because I didn't watch the Game Awards, but this blog doesn't really make it clear. So we're just going to run through the list. The first one was Tunic. I didn't watch this trailer, so I don't know anything about it. It says it's inspired by Legends of Zelda. Montrell, did you check this one out?
No, I did not check that one out. That was in the pre-show. Yeah, I didn't check that one out.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't.
Next game, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is made by the same publisher who made Friday the 13th, the multiplayer game, the asymmetric multiplayer game. It was actually pretty popular for a hot minute. So they're making another one of those, but with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Any interest for you for this one?
Not really. I just don't understand why they're making it when the other team, the other dev team, Dead by Daylight, already has that kind of locked on, and they have multiple licensed people in Dead by Daylight. I just don't see how this one would,
Wait, are you saying there's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre game in the works?
No. So Dead by Daylight is the asymmetrical multiplayer game that everyone plays. That one has the scary movie, or I call him the scary movie guy, but the Scream guy has I think it has Jason in it. I think no, it doesn't have Jason in it. It has Mike Myers in it, and it has Nemesis in it from Resident Evil. It has all these different IPs in the game already.
Yeah.
That you can play as, and it's a multiplayer game. It's actually really popular. They have elos and everything. There's ranked play and everything like that. So I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to try to cut into that market. because already know Dragon Ball Z has their own little thing going on with it.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
feel like that's enough to get people to play it because it's Dragon Ball Z. But I don't feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre has that kind of clout to drag players away.
Well, maybe it does. I mean, the Friday the 13th game was pretty, like I said, was actually pretty popular for a little bit there. It wasn't a great game, but it like was enough that it had enough of a pull for people. So I don't know. Maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre as an IP could do the same thing. I don't know. It sounds like a stupid fun, Friday night game, once in a while to play. Not that it's not saying I'm actually going to play it, but for a certain type of audience, I actually feel like it could apply. And these guys seem pretty committed to this asymmetric multiplayer horror game. Now they've done it with two different IPs, so I don't know. I think there's a possible audience here. I just don't think it's that big. I think, like you said, Dead by Daylight pretty much got that on lock, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see. Next game shown was Homeworld 3 was a so the trailer for this says it's a gameplay first look. However, I would question that. This trailer to me showed what I would consider very little, if any, gameplay at all beyond like some animations that we're playing. Because this is like a real-time strategy sci-fi game, and there wasn't a single shot in this entire trailer of what looked like a real-time strategy game. So I don't buy that. This was a kind of a fib. I consider this more of like a cinematic, in-game cinematic trailer.
So what was that game called?
Homeworld 3. It's Gearbox owns it. They bought the IP a long time ago. It's actually a very popular space RTS from
Mm.
back in the day that they revived a few years ago. They made the Homeworld Collection, which is on Steam. You can get it for like $2 or $5, and they actually, dude. To be honest, if you're looking for an RTS, I've never played it, but they remade those games from like the ground up. Like they are
Oh, really?
modern. They are like modern games now. So we're probably worth checking out if you're looking for an RTS to play, and you
Okay.
like spacefaring ones. They did release original content for it after the fact too. It was like Homeworld. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a desert based expansion of some sort, or it might have even been standalone. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is Homeworld 3 though. This is the first new game they're making in the franchise. So
Okay, cool.
then the next game, this is probably the first one we're going to talk about more in depth, is the Expanse Telltale series. So this is being made by the team. I think Deck Nine is their name. They make the Life is Strange games, or they're making the new. Sorry, they've made the new Life is Strange True Colors game that just came out a couple months ago. But they're making a Expanse Telltale style game, and it is going to follow Drumma from the series. It looks like, who is one of the Belter um, kind of, it's hard to explain. I guess she's at points she's a commander, at points she's kind of a mercenary, at points she freelances. She's all over the place, but she's a very interesting character nonetheless. But it also has the actress. It sounds like the actress from the show is playing the character, which is a good get to me, because she adds a lot of character to the character. So, Montrell, have you watched the Expanse television show?
No, should I watch it?
Oh, dude, bro.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm just straight face palming right now. Are you serious?
I never watched the show.
You
No,
haven't watched The Expanse.
no,
Hold on, you're friends with me and Tiara, and you haven't watched The Expanse.
no.
I know she's a big fan of the show. You're fucking kidding me, dude. Yes, watch The Expanse. It is fucking excellent. Like straight up excellent. It is an excellent show. It is based on a book series that is takes place in the what I would term the near future, like 150 years future, where humanity has expanded into the rest of the solar system. So they've inhabited like Mars and parts of the outer ring of the asteroid belt, at the edge of the solar system.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just super fucking cool, dude. It's like a hype. It's very political. There's a lot of political intrigue if you're into that. It's very what I term realistic sci-fi. Like they try to approach the science of the show very realistically. Like there's not a lot of crazy shit that happens. I mean, there is some crazy shit, but the technology that they use within the universe is like very it's based on like real physics and stuff. So very
Okay.
cool. Highly recommended. Which is why this Telltale series reveal very interesting. I think this is a good universe to make this style of game with. To me, but the question is, to me, is are they going to make it episodic or not? I would assume no, because all of Deck Nine's, all the Life is Strange games since the first one, I think, have been full. Just they just released the full thing at once. It was just a game, basically.
Okay.
There was no episodic bullshit. So, given that, given the universe they're going to be covering as well, and the character they're going to be covering, I'm actually interested in this. Like, this could be really good, in my opinion. So I'm kind of excited for it. But yeah, man, what are you doing, man? Like, if you're taking any kind of break this Christmas, which I mean, I know you are this week, but you're going away, so you're probably not gonna have time to watch. But um, if you're looking for a television show to watch, you got 5 seasons of The Expanse, bro, waiting for you. Just waiting for you to watch it. And that makes me very jealous of you. So, and anybody listen to this hasn't watched The Expanse, just watch it. The 6th season's about to come out too. It's about to start, I think next week or this week, late this week. So there will be more as well. All right, next game is Babylon's Fall, which is basically a meme at this point from Square Enix and Platinum. However, what I will say, I did watch this trailer. They made it look a little bit better than they have in the past. Maybe the game's improving. Maybe they took some feedback. The game definitely looks better, like aesthetically. Like the visuals look a little bit more colorful. And not. I don't even remember what it was last time. It just like everything was like
it looked like fucking near, but everything was just stripped bland. That's what
mhm,
it fucking looked like. It was
like
terrible.
nothing had personality to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks a little better this time. I don't know. Did you watch this trailer?
Yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah, it looks a little better. It looks like it has a lot more color and depth to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still not convinced. Yeah, but it looks like, you know what it reminds me of, and this I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but it reminds me of like Godfall.
I was gonna say the same exact thing, dude. Yeah, the aesthetic, like the style choice they've made, it definitely looks like Godfall, which is not a good game to be compared to. But
Yeah,
I would expect Platinum will make a better game than that. So we'll see, I guess. But we did get a release date though. It is coming on March 3rd, 2022. So it's soon, like less than 3 months. So um another game getting shoved into that like month long window of the middle of February to the middle of March.
but
It's
this would be
great.
a game that I would definitely pass up. I'm sorry, it
Oh
just
yeah.
doesn't look interesting.
I actually think that release date for Square, it kind of makes me wonder what they're doing. Because it almost makes you wonder, do they just want to bury this game, like get it out and bury it and never talk about it again? Because
Dude, they've been
um
they've been talking about this game since I started at the job with you, and that was 4 years
I
ago.
know, this game was announced. Dude, I think this game was announced even longer than that, like before that. Like, I want to say we heard about this game the first time, like early-ish in the PS4 generation, and it took
Yeah,
them forever to make it. So I'm gonna bet they stopped and started development many times in the last few years with this game, and that's why it's so weird that it changes every time we see it. It's something different, you know. So I don't know. I don't think this game's gonna fare very well, especially in the window it's releasing in. Because people are gonna be coming off. Think about this, right? They're gonna be coming off Elden Ring, Horizon, a new Destiny 2 expansion. Like, you really think this game's gonna survive that with the high praise? Like, oh boy, I don't think so. So we'll see. But all right, next game was Monster Hunter Rise. They showed more of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the new G rank expansion coming next year. They didn't show any real gameplay, but they showed a new monster, which is the Luna Garon or something like that. Yeah, which is probably some take on the Odogaron, I'm gonna guess. It's like a snowy wolf. It looked pretty cool, but not much to say for me, I guess. I mean, are you excited about this expansion, or are you still kind of like chilled on Monster Hunter right now?
I am still chilled on Monster. I don't know, man. Monster Hunter Rise really turned me off Monster Hunter, and that's so weird to say.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know you're saying that, but dude, like when this comes out, knowing Capcom, this is going to be a really robust expansion.
well, not
And
Capcom. Let's just give it to the Monster Hunter team, because
yeah.
Capcom. If it was up to Capcom, they would release the game like this and never fucking touch it again. so,
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, to be
uh,
honest, Capcom could just do that. Like, it's not like the Monster Hunter team has like any power in the relationship, you know?
I honestly think they flexed their power. The Capcom dev or Capcom executives flexed their power
Yeah.
because this is the first Monster Hunter game where I felt like it was incomplete. Like usually when I play the G games or the X game or the G games, they feel really like added on. Like I don't need to play them, right? Like I'm like, oh man, this is really
Mhm.
cool. Like Iceborne was like that for me. I didn't really need to play Iceborne, but when I played it, I was thoroughly surprised at how much shit they added to the game. Um,
I mean,
and I
Iceborne
mean,
was the
I'm
most
pretty
ridiculous Monster Hunter we've ever like. It was the most ridiculous add-on I think we've ever gotten in Monster Hunter, though.
yeah, and that's what that's why I try to give the game some slack because I'm like coming off of Iceborne, it's really fucking hard to follow up with that shit. Um, But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe Sunbreak would do the same shit. I'm actually interested in what additional mechanics they're gonna add. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
really interested in. So that's why I'm kind of like meh right now.
Hmm.
But I know they're gonna add like additional mechanics or
Yeah.
either additional move sets, not even additional
Yeah.
mechanics, just like
Yeah.
different move sets and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you now, like when you start seeing all of, your friends on the timeline posting gameplay of Monster Hunter and they're like, "Montrell, come play with us." And you're trying to be a grumpy ass about it and you're going to break, dude. You're not going to last. Like I know you're not.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. I already said it. We already both me and you said we're gonna buy Sunbreak when it comes
Okay.
out.
All right.
Yeah, so
Well,
I already
the one
know.
thing I will say about this is to be frank, they better not try to pull the same shit they did with the base game though. Because if this game comes out and they don't have like rank 10 weapons in the game and rank 10 armor
Mhm.
in the game, I'm
No, the
out.
game needs to be complete. The
I'm
game
out.
needs to be 100% complete.
Yeah, whatever they add afterwards needs to just be monsters. Like literally, like it better not be adding like real important shit to the game, because that's what happened with the base game. It came out and there was no rank 7 weapons. Period. None at all. Zero. Like I think there might have been one, and that was like the final monster in the game, and that's bullshit. Like for a monster in a game. So yeah, they better not try to pull that shit again with this, because I'm gonna be real mad if that happens. So we'll see. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it's still going to be good, but um, there is a little bit hinging on this for me. It actually needs to hit this time. So,
Yeah, I agree.
all right. Next game. I don't think either of us have anything to say about this one, but Thirsty Suitors.
What?
This looks like a weird. It's from Annapurna Interactive. It looks like a weird like game where you're playing a woman who's like uh let me just read the blog post here. This from Games Radar. This inventive new Annapurna Interactive pick fuses those classic video game flavors of being a disappointment to your parents, fighting your exes in special effects ridden combat, and skateboarding around a colorful world like you do. That's the best way I can explain the game too. So yeah.
This game looks very, very indie. And shout out
Yes.
to the devs, man. Shout out to
Hmm.
the devs. I might check it out if I'm like, you know, if
Hi.
I'm in between games. Yeah, if I'm in between games, I might check it out. So
All right, let's move on. Next one was Evil West. This is a game, I believe, by the developers of I want to say the Shadow of War. No, Shadow Warrior series. This is a Western shooting style game against monsters, like really gross looking monster type foes. There was no gameplay shown. It was just a cinematic trailer, but
it's
who
called
knows?
Shadow Warrior.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior, the Shadow Warrior series. I've never played those
Okay.
games, but um, don't even know what this is necessarily. Like, is it a single player game? Is it a multiplayer game? Is it both? Don't know. So, if that sounds interesting to you, though, check out the trailer. Next game is Have a Nice Death. So, okay, I watched this trailer. This game actually looks good, dude. It is a roguelike, 2D platforming roguelike. There's plenty of combat in the game, but the combat actually looks really good in this game, and it's styled kind of like Hollow Knight. It kind of looks like Hollow Knight,
Yeah.
stylistically, but this looks way fucking better than Hollow Knight. Sorry, everybody who likes Hollow Knight, but I couldn't fucking stand that game. Um,
Why?
it's just, I just fucking, I don't know. I don't want to get like deep in it, but it just is. The game feels slow, and then they just kind of throw you in it and don't explain anything to you. They're just like, here you go down. Okay, have fun, and like that's the game. And then you just run around and like try to figure out what the fuck you're doing. Um, so I didn't like it personally. I don't think I didn't like the combat either. I didn't find the combat very riveting, to be honest. This looks a lot more up my alley, a lot faster paced. So, um,
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I look like I'm probably gonna pick this up too.
yeah, this one looks good. So, I think it said it's coming to early access in March though. So, we're probably not going to have a full game for a couple of years, I would imagine. So, keep that in mind. Next game, I don't know if I didn't watch this trailer. Oh, actually, I did watch this trailer briefly. Planet of Lana, which is hard to explain. It looks like some kind of platforming game of some sort where you're like running across a desert planet and things are attacking you. It's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, think of like Wally, but with a human
Yeah,
attached to your back.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So
It's
looks
coming to
pretty. I like the
2022.
graphics. So it looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it looks nice. It has music from the Last Guardian's composer as well.
Ah, that's why the music sounds so good.
Yep, it does sound good actually. Next thing was in a Persona 4 Arena port. Um,
Which
to
everyone was going ape shit about. I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, are these
Well,
good? Are these games good? Can I
no,
like?
the fighting games are really good. They are really good.
Okay,
They are. I just think Persona's like super mainstream now, so it's like
yeah,
I don't know. You know how that goes.
yeah, true. It's like obnoxious at a certain point.
Yeah,
It's like not as
yeah.
cool anymore. I don't. I just don't enjoy it as much.
It sounds so gatekeeperish, but like I don't know, man. Sometimes we need to gatekeep
Well,
shit.
okay, yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. I don't like intentionally. I don't think you intentionally like are meaning to gatekeep. It's like I get the sentiment of what you're saying. Like there is something pure about liking something that not many people know about, and you're kind of in with a small group of people, and when you meet somebody who likes that thing too, it's like really I don't know. It's like it's different. Like when I met you and you knew what Bait and Katos was, like I was like, all right, I love this guy. This is my dude right here, So, because it's like nobody even knows what that fucking game is. Um, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like Monster Hunter as well.
Mm,
It was a really popular franchise. I think like S&T is gonna follow down this path too. I feel really bad for the Persona fans because what's going to happen is they're going to go through. It's like a flow chart of like stock, right, or
mm,
cryptocurrency.
yeah.
It's gonna go up. You're gonna go up. You're like, oh man, I'm getting all the good games. They're gonna get like Persona 6 is gonna be really fucking good or some shit like that, right? You're just gonna hit that peak and then it's just gonna go down. You're gonna see it go down. And I feel like we hit that with Monster Hunter. We hit the peak and now we're on the way down.
There's a point. There's a point of popularity where a game series changes, because the
Yeah,
developers
exactly.
become aware of how popular their game is now and how many eyes are on it, and they start seeing dollar signs, and I think that happened with Monster Hunter, with Monster Hunter Rise a little bit, where
Yeah.
they start peeling away a little bit of the onion a bit, and like then they start trying to staple it back on later, and that's not great. And I'm not saying Persona is going to do that necessarily. However, um, the bigger it gets, the more risk there is that it turns into something like Final Fantasy has, which we all know Final Fantasy, no matter what you feel about any of the games, fucking any of them. I'm not singling out 15, but like it's there have definitely been peaks and valleys of the quality of Final Fantasy over the years.
Hell,
Um
even Tails. Remember, Tails got really
absolutely.
popular, and then
Yep.
it became like a Call of Duty RPG where they just released one almost every fucking year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. Oh my god.
So
Yeah. For real. So yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's something to a series being small and having a cult following.
yeah, and I think what they're going to try to keep doing is like everyone knows SMTV has like the same like developer or style as Persona. So what I think Atlas is trying to do right now is keep Persona in the mix. So they're going to keep trying to release games or like even reboot games or remake games to have something in the stratosphere almost every year, so that
Hmm.
that popularity can stay at the forefront of
Yeah,
like everyone's mind.
they're smart. I mean, because remember, like Persona 4, Persona 5. Sorry, Persona 5 came out in 2017, and
Yep.
then Joker was added to Smash Brothers like a year or two later, which kind of brought everybody back up to the four. And then you had Persona 5 Strikers, which came out I think last year. Now you have
And
this
then you had
announcement.
Royal.
Yeah, Royal came out right last year, and then you had Persona 4 Golden came out on PC recently. They're just like trying to keep it, like Montrell's saying, they're trying to keep Persona in the consciousness without having an actual new game necessarily in the mainline series. So, which makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like Atlas is starting to they're starting to smell their own farts a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like so there is a risk factor there that they get a little too big for their britches, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen to him.
I'm not worried
I
about it
wish him
right
the best.
now. There's no
Yeah, yeah.
indicator that it's happening, but we'll see. All right. Next game shown was Hellblade 2. They showed quote gameplay. This trailer though didn't look like a
Did
video
not look
game.
like gameplay at all. Yeah.
Yeah, this was like a 6-minute sequence that to me didn't look like gameplay in any way, shape, or form. Um, so I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder. Like this game, we heard about this
This
game a while
game
ago.
this game does have a cinematic flair
Yeah.
um to it, almost kind of like how God of War like matches their mixes and matches their cinematic gameplay with actual gameplay. So there was one
Hmm.
part during the trailer where she's like running away from the giant monster. That part is gameplay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can. I don't know if you're watching it, but it's like at like the 4 or 5 minute mark. That
Hmm.
part of it is actual gameplay.
Oh, I see
Um,
it. Yeah, I see what you're talking about
yeah,
now. It's just like really interactive though. It's not. It doesn't
yeah,
feel like real gameplay. Like it feels like those moments in Uncharted where like the game is like waiting for you to do something.
yeah,
And there's not really like a failure condition necessarily. So I mean, I'm sure if you stood there, you would die, but like the game expects you to run away.
yeah.
So I think the thing about this game that was interesting is Ninja Theory was acquired in I think it was like 2017 or 2018. It's been a few years now by Microsoft, and that was after the original Hellblade came out. So this game's been in
No, This
development for a
game,
while.
this game is literally responsible for them getting acquired.
Oh,
In my
absolutely.
opinion, it was really that good,
Hmm.
and it was critically acclaimed. I feel like they needed this game. Ninja Theory's always been a fucking talented company. They just had really really bad apples. If that
Yeah.
makes, they had really really shitty hands. They got they released Heavenly Sword, which was an okay game,
Hmm.
not the best. And then I forgot it was another game that they released that had like Son Goku in it, not actual Goku, but like the monkey Wukong Goku in it. And then
Hmm.
then they released Devil May Cry,
Oh yeah,
and
DMC. Oh, are you talking
that
about Enslaved?
Enslaved. There you go. Thank you.
Or there's a game called Kung Fu Chaos. Maybe that was from
Oh,
2003.
okay. So both of those actually, but I was talking about Enslaved, but I completely forgot about Kung Fu Chaos. That game was hilariously fun.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Enslaved though. I remember Enslaved actually. I never played it. And
but I heard it got good reception. Like I
yeah,
heard everyone was like, "Yo,
yeah.
this is a really good game."
It was
It was
critically well
mainly
received.
yeah, and then Devil May Cry came out. DMC Devil May Cry, and that game is still up in the air as far as like Devil May Cry fans. I'm one of those people who were like turned over years later. Like I hated it when it first came out, then I played it, and I'm like, you know what? I can see where they're going with this, but they just
Mhm.
never. It was the writing was on the wall once the game came out, so they're never going to touch it again. Um, but yeah, that game, and then Hellblade, I believe. I think there was their next
Well,
project.
yeah, listed here is Disney Infinity 3.0. They must have been really hurting at that point in
So
2015.
with 3.0, they were. I think they were more so a support team on that one
That's what
project.
I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think they were the primary developer on that because there was a Disney owned studio I think called Avalanche that made Disney Infinity.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but then there was Hellblade in 2017 and then Bleeding Edge in 2020, which is like literally I think already shut down. So,
Yeah.
um,
So I
but
feel really bad that they just have. It's one of those companies that are like super. I don't know if you can think of another company like that that's super talented. They have tons of talent, but it's just like every card they get dealt, it just never hits the way they want it to hit. You know.
hmm yeah, I'm trying to think of another studio like that. I'm sure I could think of one if I took enough time, but yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I guess the question I want to ask though is, given how much time there's been between this game, the first game, and this game, and then Microsoft's acquisition, are you worried about this game at all?
No, no, this game's gonna sell like hotcakes.
I know, but I'm talking from a quality standpoint. I think
Oh
it's going to
no,
sell like crazy
I,
too.
I
But
I think it's actually the quality is probably gonna improve. To
okay,
be honest with you,
I
yeah,
mean, cinematically, you're right; it looks great. Um,
yeah.
I just kind of question. It makes me wonder though if the direction of the game maybe has gone in a way that people who like the first Hellblade might not enjoy. But then
Uh,
again, I didn't play the first game, so
yeah, I didn't play the first game either. I gotta play it. This game has been. I actually have this game, and every time I think of a game I want to play, I don't know why this game never pops up on my brain. But I'm
mhm.
definitely gonna play this game before the year's out, like for sure.
Fair enough. Well, it's coming out in 2022, I think, is what the trailer said. Actually, did it say? I don't know. Let's see. They didn't even put a date on it. That's crazy, man. Okay, so maybe not 2022, but all right, moving on. Our next game they showed was Star Wars Eclipse, which is being made by Quantic Dream, who are now solo. They are no longer in a deal with Sony to make any games. So this will be a multi-platform game, and they are making a Star Wars game. Now it's set in the High Republic era,
Thank
and
God.
the trailer the trailer had a lot of action in it. There was no gameplay or anything like that. This was purely a cinematic trailer, but the amount of action that was in it kind of makes me wonder, like, what are they making their style of game, or are they making like a game, like an actual game you like really play, like where there's maybe
So,
combat and
so
stuff like that.
Quantic Dream. I always get them confused with another studio. What are they known for? Quantic
They
Dream.
made Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two Souls,
Ah,
Heavy
okay.
Rain, back in the day. So they're like a Telltale style studio, except they do it very cinematically and high fidelity generally.
Yeah, it says action adventure in the game. I mean, in the comments, I remember Beyond Two Souls was like a action game, like an
hmm
action shooter game. So maybe they'll go back to that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued though. I mean, the High Republic era is. I mean, that's like Knights of the Old Republic era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, the High Republic era that may be before the Empire took over. I think that's right before the Empire took
is
took
it
over.
okay?
Yeah.
I thought
The Old Republic is 3,000 years ago. The High Republic era is let me look it up. I believe that's like right before the Republic took over.
is that true? Let's see. I'm going to do a Star Wars wiki.
Yeah, I am too.
The in which the Galactic Rebel. Oh, this is like prequels. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
like the
yeah.
prequel. Oh, okay, this is like prequel time period. That's what it sounds
Yep,
like.
yep. So yeah,
Okay,
right,
okay.
right
Then
before
I
the Empire. Then the next era is the Empire era. So yeah, this is the High Republic era. So
okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right, that's good to know then. So apologies for that, everybody. I'm not the most versed in Star Wars lore. Uh, so that's interesting. I actually like that time period. To be honest, I think the fact that the movie sucked so bad ruined it for a lot of people. But I'd actually like to see it explored more, for sure. So um, yeah, this could be cool. This could be an interesting game, for sure. I am looking forward to seeing more of it. Definitely, and I'm glad we're really starting to see these games, um, unpaired from EA, starting to get really announced. So I think that's also nice too. We're getting some more creativity and more studios working on Star Wars games, which is always a good thing. All right,
okay,
moving on. Lost Ark got a release date February 11th, 2022, and this is a I believe this is the MMO ARPG that Amazon is making. That actually looks pretty cool
it
to
looks
me.
fucking impressive, bro. I when I was looking at this game, I was like, holy shit. Uh,
Yeah.
this is kind of like my style of ARPG, like super fucking flashy and shit like that.
hmm
I like
hmm
that style of ARPG.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So yeah, this one looks intriguing. It's gonna be a free to play game as well. Um, and I may be checking it out depending on where I'm at when it comes out. Or other people we know play it as well. But yeah, this game definitely looks interesting to me. Um, Next game that was shown, Wonder Woman. We didn't get anything beyond like a cinematic trailer, of course. But it is a Wonder Woman game
Hmm.
coming. I don't think we know much more about it than that, but
Oh,
it is
I know a
being
lot
made
more
by the
about it.
team. What?
I know a lot more about it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
continue going.
so it's being made by the team that made Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor,
Yep.
which may indicate what style of game it is. But go ahead, Montreal. What do you know about this?
Yeah, so you're right. It's made by Monolith Studios. And those are the people who made the Shadow of Mordor series, and they have confirmed that they're going to be using the Nemesis system, which leads me to believe
Huh.
that this is not going to take place. This is probably going to take place on Wonder Woman's island. I can see her taking out different tribes or some shit like that, and probably trying to unify all the Amazonians, or whatever.
Amazonians. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the Nemesis system is like really cool. And they did confirm that this is going to use the Nemesis system. So I'm pretty fucking stoked, and their gameplay is also really good. So I have no doubt in my mind that they'll do justice to Wonder Woman.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's a big game then, potentially. All right, next game, Alan Wake 2 was shown. Um,
Yeah, I'm
yeah, go
super hyped
ahead.
for this game.
This
I'm
this
super
feels
hyped
like
for this
this
game.
feels like a game for you.
Yeah, I love Alan Wake, and I'm glad that they're finally coming back to it. Even though we didn't get any kind of gameplay footage of it, I love the old one. The old one's gameplay wasn't the best, but it was just
hmm
super fucking creepy.
hmm
Um, and I'm glad we're getting another survival horror game. I'm all for fucking survival horror games.
hmm Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's good that it's getting made. This is from Remedy, so they're pretty. I feel like they're on the up and up, or they've been on the up and up for the last few years since kind of Control came out, basically. So that'll be an interesting game to watch. Next thing shown was actually a movie trailer for Sonic 2. And it actually looked pretty good. I'll say. Knuckles is going to be in it, played by Idris Elba, which is that's a fun choice. And then Tails will also be in it, which I believe he was not in the first movie. So, and it is
Yeah, he wasn't.
coming. It's coming on April 8th, 2022, Montreal. So, you're looking forward to this. You saw the first one too, right?
Yep. I recommend everyone to go see the first. If you like Sonic, if you're just a Sonic fan, just go see it. It's a fun movie to watch. It's not stupid. I mean, it's the plot's kind of dumb, but like all these movies are. But it's not. The acting's okay. It's just a fun movie to watch. Like it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's nothing like overly dumb as well. So it
Mhm.
deserves a second movie, and I think the second one's going to do the same thing. Jim Carrey's amazing as Dr. Robotnik. Never would have thought I'd have him as Dr. Robotnik, but it
Mhm.
oddly works. So yeah, I think it's really cool.
Cool, cool. I might check this out actually too. I I don't like what Sonic is. I think it's like a just a like a dumb fun kind of action movie. So,
Yeah.
which I think works. Honestly, you don't need anything more than that with Sonic. So, next thing was shown was Horizon Forbidden West, another gameplay trailer, and this gameplay trailer was fucking horrible. It was just like a fucking montage video where they kept switching between environments, showing different types of mechanical fucking robots and different environments you go to in the game. And I fucking hate trailers like this. I'm sorry, this was a waste of time. You get nothing out of it, and all they're doing is spoiling the game. Like I can't stand trailers like this. This is like the worst shit you can do 2 months before your game's gonna come out. You know what's part of the fun of playing a game like Horizon is seeing what kind of crazy fucking robot designs they come up with and not knowing what they are, and they just kind of appear, or you run into them and you find them. Like if you blow them all in a fucking trailer, like you've completely taken that aspect of the game away from people who've seen it. Like it's fucking like, come on, Sony. Like I don't none of us need to see any more of this game. Like at this point, I feel like enough. Enough. But no, they're gonna keep marketing it like fucking crazy because they know this is one of their biggest fucking releases of the year. So but basically at this point, if I see a Horizon trailer, I am Xing the window out. I don't want to see it. That's where I'm at. What about you?
I'm pretty much the same now. I really don't want to see any more trailers of the game. Uh, After that one trailer that Sunny Legend did, I
Yeah,
was kind of sold on that game. I was sold on the game.
yeah,
Because
no,
I already tweeted, and surprisingly enough, a lot of people agree with me that they did not enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn
bro.
One, which I
It's obnoxious. It is obnoxious. It is obnoxious how much that happens, Where, dude, I am so tired of this happening with every fucking game. Like when Horizon came out, do you remember the zeitgeist around that game? Like
oh
everyone
yeah.
was like so over the moon about Horizon. And then now, 4 years later, we start talking about it somewhat critically, like, oh, melee combat's not that good. The human AI is not that great,
Mhm.
like the movement wasn't that great. All of a sudden everybody just kind of agrees. It's like guys, come on, like you can't. It's just like I don't know. Maybe it's probably just anecdotal, but it feels like it just happens so much. It happened with Breath of the Wild, and that's become a hugely divisive game. When it came out, everybody was like, "Oh, this is the best Zelda that ever came out." It's like
Yeah.
it and now it happened with Horizon. It's happened with countless fucking games, over the years, and it's just like it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious to me, but I think we can agree. You and I at least can agree that Horizon One was a good game, solid, but plenty of room for improvement. And
Yeah, I think people misunderstood when I said I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It's like a 6 or 7 for me. There were a lot of aspects of the game I did not like, particularly around just it being all bow combat. And I know that's the
mhm,
premise of the game, but it was just like there wasn't any depth to it, and they tried to make fake depth to it by adding
yeah,
the unnecessary RPG mechanics. So
yeah, which I
yeah,
bet I'm gonna bet you aren't even in this game.
I
Like
hope
this is gonna
not.
be a pure action game like Spider Man.
I hope not. I hope it just has like maybe some elements from like God of War where you can unlock and have skill trees and stuff like that. Maybe some
Yeah,
minor
but God
stats
of War
here and
had
there.
equipment.
Yeah, like I don't mind that. I don't mind God.
Okay.
I don't mind this game having equipment either. Like minor stat stuff, not like game altering stuff. I don't know. Like when you get one item in Horizon Zero Dawn, like it just breaks the entire game for
Yeah.
me. And
Yeah.
so
Well, there's like a point in the game, in the middle of the game, where you get to like the more populated part of the map, and there's some shops you can go to, that have really good bows, and there's like one bow in the game that you can get pretty early in the game, and once you get that bow, you don't need another bow for the entire rest of the game, and it just kind of like ruins the entire like RPG side of the game, you know?
With
Because
the foraging aspect too was kind of annoying, but I mean,
mm-hmm. But anyways, point being, I don't need to see more of this game. It really looks like they internally identified the things they needed to improve and improve them. So, I'm looking forward to playing it at this point. And I think it's coming on February 17th, I believe, is the release date. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's February 17th. It's the middle of February. So we'll definitely be covering it when we play it. So next couple trailers, don't really need to talk about. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is coming to PC soon on December 16th. In fact, by the time you hear this, actually it will be out. So, and then Destiny 2, Witch Queen trailer, Montrell, are you gonna get back into Destiny 2?
I might. I have a friend who plays a lot, so I might play it with them. But I'm not looking. I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And then after that, the next trailer was something called Splitterhead, which is from the Silent Hill director Keiichiro Toyama and Bokeh Game Studio. And this looks like a horror game of some sort, and it looks kind of disgusting. Not my kind of game, but Montreal, this interests you at all?
Surprisingly enough, I'm not a big fan of Silent Hill games. I love them for what they are, but they fucking freak me the shit out. They freak me the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Those are one games that I kind of avoid. I may play them again, but this, granted, too, when Silent Hill came out, I was younger, so I may go back and play them. And this is supposed to be in the style or the vein or from the creators of Silent Hill or some of the
Mm-hmm.
creators of Silent Hill. So I'm gonna check it out. It's supposed to be one of those psychedelic horror um
Mm-hmm.
fucking video games. So I think it's always interesting when I see games do that.
Yeah. All right. Next game after that was something called Nightingale, which is coming from a former BioWare executive, Aaron Flynn, in his new studio. It is being termed a survival crafting game in a shared world. It looks like a very mystical world that it's taking place in, with all sorts of mystical creatures like giants and fucking tree ants and shit like that. But it also is a game in a world that has magic and guns, so it's like kind of that like almost like medieval steampunk ish.
Yeah, yeah.
So it actually looks kind of interesting, but I feel like we have enough of these like survival games where you like build up a fucking base at this point. But I don't know. Does this pique your interest at all?
Was this the game that we heard about couple like a year or two ago?
Yes,
Remember
I
it
think
was.
it was.
Oh man, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I know. It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it was supposed to be. I don't. Maybe I don't think. I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the story now, but yeah, I remember when Aaron Flynn like opened this studio. He had all this stuff to say about this awesome game he was gonna make, and we were like, I think we were kind of excited to see what he was gonna come up with, but
Yeah,
it's like a survival game,
it's a
really.
multiplayer game. I was looking forward to another single player game, but
Yeah, man. I don't know. So, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
well,
you're right. So you're right. I don't know, man. I feel like that genre, the survival genre, is a very funny genre. I feel like it rose really quickly as fast as it fell. Cause like Fortnite came out right when that shit came out, and then Fortnite and PUBG kind of took those people who wanted to turn survival games into battle royale games. It took a large chunk of those people away from like survival games.
hmm.
So
Well,
now you
yeah,
just have
games
the
like Escape from Tarkov, right? Isn't that like it's like sort of like a
that's a
survival game?
that's like a loot and shoot game more so.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're
But
right. Yeah.
games like DayZ, remember DayZ? How
Yeah,
that game was stuck
DayZ
in it.
or fuck, what was that game? Oh my god.
H1N1 or H1Z1.
No, not that one. There was one that was really hot for like literally like 2 days. And I remember Doc played it. Dr. Disrespect played it. And it was like this survival game where it took place in this weird like futuristic kind of Russian setting where there were like mechs that were like automatically running around, and they would like kill you if they saw you, but there were other players in your world instance and you would run around and you'd have to avoid them. But the thing is, like, the game was like a uber survival game though. You had to like eat food, drink water. You had to legitimately like stop to like take a shit like at certain points in the game. I'm forgetting what it was called. Oh my god, what was that game called? Oh, it was hilarious. But yeah, it's just, that's my point, is like these games are like a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. If you want a survival game, there's fucking like there's dozens of them out there for you. You know, you do not need to search very hard to find them. And to me, they're kind of overdone. Like I don't really find them to be that fun, to be honest. But that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the only game I can think of is like Stalker, or but I don't think that's Stalker that you're talking
Oh my
about.
god, survival game.
I
Dude, I'm
put in like
trying to remember the
survival
name.
Russian survival video game. I'm not getting anything. I'm getting Chernobyl Light.
Generation Zero? No, that's not it.
Is it
That's not
Next
it.
Day Survival?
No, it was something like Raw or something. I want to say. Was it Raw? I don't remember, dude. Was that the game? There's a game called Raw.
If I type
Oh,
in Raw, this is gonna give me a whole bunch of WWE games.
or like porn or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my god. I'll find it later. I'll find it later. Oh, we should do this during the show. But yeah, that game was really funny though. Because yeah, I remember Doc playing it, and like the only thing that came out of him playing it was like him taking a shit like in the game during the stream, which was funny. Um, all right, let's move on. After that was Lord of the Rings Gollum, which we've heard about this game before. This has been rumored for a long time, but this is, I think, the first time we've actually seen the game. But it was just a cinematic trailer where Gollum's talking to himself and he kills some orcs with like a vat of lava, basically, which I'd question why there's a vat of lava in a cave floating above a walking path, but sure. But it was also like Gollum, the person playing Gollum was doing a very like Peter Jackson style Gollum, which I worry that this game is going to be a really, because it didn't look particularly strong either from an aesthetic standpoint. I kind of worry that it's going to be a very like budget, almost rip off kind of feeling game. You know, it's not going to have its own identity really. But what did you think?
It's giving me. I saw some gameplay footage of. There is gameplay footage of it out there. If you want to go look at it. Oh shit. You
Mm-hmm.
guys still there? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it reminds me of
Like you're
Odyssey.
talking to multiple people.
It reminds me of Odyssey or
Mm-hmm.
Abe's Odyssey.
Mm.
That's what it reminds me of when I look at it. And you are right; it looks very. The budget doesn't look as high as a Lord of the Rings game normally does. They usually have a really high budget for their models and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna. I hate when I say stuff like that because it makes me sound like I'm like a one dimensional gamer. But I'm not really looking forward to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, understood. All right. Next game was something called Somerville, which is an action adventure game from the makers of Limbo. I don't have much to say about this one. Does this interest you at all?
Can
Montreal.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said no, not really.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Next thing was a Cuphead DLC. The delicious last course with a release date coming out on June 30th, 2022. Have you played Cuphead?
No, I keep meaning I have it, but I just haven't played it yet.
Oh my god, dude. I haven't played it either, and I think the thing about it is like I don't. They are. This game is ridiculous. Like it has that old animation style, basically from like the I don't know, like the 50s, I think.
Yeah, like the
Um,
30s or something like that.
yeah, but dude, it's like a full video game like that, and I can't believe how like gorgeous it looks. It's pretty insane, dude. To be honest with you, and like these the because this game was made by I think like literally two people. Um, and that's kind of the insane part about it is how good it is and how good it looks. Um, but that fact as well on top of it. So this looks like
Yeah,
just more Cuphead, but
yeah, I think they did everything by hand, or almost. It
yeah,
looks like they did by
it
hand.
is. It's all hand drawn. That's what's crazy about it. Is how they translated that into a video game that's like fully functional, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Next game shown was Sonic Frontiers, which Montrell's got to be so excited, right? It's like an open world Sonic game. Who couldn't want that?
So I don't mind it. I just wish they show us gameplay. This game has been hinted at for a whole fucking year now, and now I
Hmm.
have to wait another fucking year to get gameplay. And everyone's already saying in the Sonic community, "Oh my god, this is the best Sonic game ever." We don't even know what the fucking game looks like. Like we
Hmm.
don't know how it plays. So I
Yeah.
want to see how the game plays. I know everything about the game, right? I've been looking up leak information and everything. So far, everything that a leak from 4chan has said was true. It has been true so far, down from the name all the way to the premise of the game and everything of that nature. So I know what the general game is going to be like. I just want to see how it is in action because there are a lot of demos out there, fan made demos that made open world Sonic games and they made them work. Some of them made them with like the momentum, and then some of them made them with the boost to win functionality. So
Hmm.
I'm interested in seeing what Sega did, and there's a rumor going around that Sega hired some of these developers as well, um, to develop this game because this game I think is being made in Unreal 5.
Hmm.
So I'm interested in seeing what they did. Like if Sonic Team actually did what they did with fucking Sonic Mania and hired the fans and the fans helped them create it, or if they did their own thing. I just want to fucking see the game at this point. I'm not speculating that it's going to be bad or good. I just want to see the game at this point, like the
Hmm.
actual gameplay. So I'm
Fair
I'm
enough.
very disappointed in what I saw. I was very disappointed in the fan base and how excited they were. Like that's how desperate we are right now.
I know, man. I know. Yeah, I know. I know. So it's supposedly coming in late 2022 though, so I'm sure we'll see more at like E3 or something.
Yeah.
For it. So, next game shown was Warhammer Vermintide 2. A new, I'm assuming a new DLC. Nothing to say about this. We've played this game. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, we
Uh,
tried.
yeah, we tried. Our friends were more into it than we were. Next game was that game. So I always get the spelling, this pronunciation of this wrong. Is it just Chia or is it Chia? Like, is the T
Uh,
silent?
probably he's probably silent.
Okay. Well, so this is the open world adventure game that is very like cell shaded animation style. This game, more I see of it, this game looks really good. Honestly, like I actually think this game is going to be really cool. There's a lot. It looks like there's a lot to it, and it looks like a really interesting adventure game. There's a lot of like your character. It looks like has the ability to possess things, whether it be objects or animals or other things, and you can use that however you want. Use that power however
Mhm.
you want, which is kind of a cool concept. So I don't know. This game looks kind of cool. It's coming in the spring of 2022 as well. So
Yeah, the art
uh,
style is really fucking cool. I'm really digging that art style, actually.
yeah, but this is the first time they really showed like actual gameplay in action from what I can remember. And I actually think it looks like cool, like interesting. Like
Yeah,
it looks like a fun game.
yeah.
So check that one out if that interests you at all. All right, next game was Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League from Rocksteady. We got our first actual gameplay trailer. It was about 2.5 minutes. Montrell, what did you think of this one?
Uh, it just this is just a bad year for Square Enix, bro. I
Well, this
I
is
saw
this
this.
is not Square Enix. This is
No. I know. I immediately
okay.
thought of Avengers, and I'm
I
like,
see.
wow, look what the Avengers could have been.
Okay, I
Like,
see.
yeah. This game looks fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
I want to see more gameplay. I want to see like
Mhm.
the actual what do you call it? Like loop, the gameplay loop for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but from what they've shown so far as like shooting animations and everything like that nature, movement and everything, it looks really fucking cool. The premise of it's really cool. It makes sense. Brainiac does have the ability to take over say the Avengers, the Super Friends, or the
The
Justice League, if you
Justice
want to
League.
call
Yeah.
them. And I do like that the first one that you're going to take out is the Flash. So
Yeah.
that means that there's going to be added DLC or added events for more Justice League characters, and I like that. I like how they already setting it up, and I already know what to expect going into the game.
Well.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to like the Avengers, I don't know.
Well, so I assume though you're probably going to kill most of the Justice League in this game, or you're going to fight them at least, right? I would
Yeah,
imagine like the game's premise is that you're going to kill Superman, but you'll also probably fight the rest of the Justice League in there. Now, the one name that hasn't been mentioned yet is Batman. As far as I know, I don't think he's been in any of the trailers, right?
so what's interesting, this does take place in the Arkham world.
Yeah, right.
So I'm interested in what they're gonna do with that. To
Yeah,
be honest,
because it makes
if
me
he's
wonder
gonna
if
be a
he's going to
DLC
appear.
character, yeah,
Well, I mean, he might have a part in the story too, for all we know.
yeah, that's true. Yep.
So I am intrigued from that perspective. Now, my take on this is a little different. I'm not as like sold on this, I think, as you. What I will say is the many different styles of gameplay that they have in this game. I am impressed by how smooth it all looked. All of it. I don't think any of it looked bad, really.
Yeah,
But I think I'm just suffering from like superhero fatigue, man. Because all the like, just the going back and forth with Flash and fucking them all talking shit to each other. I'm just like, oh my god, it's just not. I don't know. I'm just not in the mood for it at this point anymore.
yeah.
I'm a little over it. So, but we'll see. I will probably play this game. And it does look good. I like to be frank. My own attitude towards the subject matter notwithstanding, like the gameplay looks really good. So, um, so yeah, we'll see. It's coming in 2022. So that was the date put on it. So it kind of makes me wonder at this point: is this going to come out before Gotham Knights? Because that was never the intent originally.
I
But
completely forgot about that game. Holy shit.
but yeah, well, from what it sounds like, Gotham Knights might be having some trouble, um, development wise. So it'll be interesting to see if this actually does end up making it out first. But all right, Montreal, let's move on. Our next trailer was another Forspoken trailer. And this game also got a release date. It is coming out in May 24th, 2022. Uh, the gameplay continues to look good to me. There's a lot of really interesting abilities that your character will be able to use, spells and effects and things like that. Um, I haven't listened to the actual like dialogue from the trailer, so I don't know if that's any better than it was last time. But did you watch this one, Montreal? Are you interested in it?
No, I didn't see that one, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You'll have plenty of time. We'll see. This is another Square Enix game, so we'll see how they do next year with their releases. All right, next game. I don't think we need to talk about this one. A Warhammer 40K Space Marine game. Not personally interested in it. What about you?
I actually am interested in it. I like the first Space Marine game they had. It looks like they're gonna take it in the same vein as the second one or as the first one, but
Actually, what kind of game was that?
it was a third person shooter.
Okay, Got it.
But you can take your chainsaw thing and like massacre like fucking waves of enemies and shit like that. But it was a third person shooter.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks kind of. They did show gameplay in this footage or in this trailer as well. And it looks like a upscaled, or really upscaled, or remake of the first game that what you did in
Mhm.
the first game. But I imagine you can do more since it's the sequel. But yeah, it was very violent and everything like that, like the first game. So
Yeah, it looks like it. Fair enough. All right, moving on. We saw the next game we saw was Saints Row, which there, we talked about this a few weeks ago. There's a new Saints Row game in development. I believe it got delayed, but we got our first look at it, and it looks like Saints Row from what I
yeah.
remember of Saints Row. So if a zany version of GTA is appealing to you, which I mean GTA is already pretty zany as it is, but this game is even more so, or this series generally is even more so. So, and then the next thing that was shown was a Fall Guys trailer for a collaboration with the Nightmare Before Christmas, which predictably
Mhm.
is adorable. Looks perfect for Fall Guys. So, Marshall, did you ever end up playing Fall Guys?
Oh yeah, I played it all the time.
You did?
Yeah, I played it a lot with me and DJ. Me and
What the
DJ and
fuck, man? I was playing it too. What the?
oh,
Why do you never tell me you're playing these games, man? You're killing me, dude. Oh my god.
yeah, we were playing with a PC, so you're probably be more pissed at me. But yeah, we played
I
it.
hate you.
Yeah, we were playing it a lot. Actually, I
Dude, if
did
you
just
want
want
to
to
play
say,
Fall Guys, I will still play Fall Guys with you. That game is
I,
fun.
that game is fun as fuck. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely play it. I
Okay.
did want to say one thing about Saints Row.
Mhm.
Uh, I saw a lot of videos about Saints Row
Mhm.
that really bugged the shit out of me. I'm not the hugest
Mhm.
Saints Row fan, so I don't give a fuck. But can we just stop this narrative that every time we see another character that's not a standard white guy, that oh my god, the franchise went woke. It's like it's just another fucking character, bro. Like,
Did that happen, dude?
yes, man. It was numerous videos when the
Oh.
first trailer dropped. They're like, oh my god, Saints Row went woke, guys. And it's like, bro,
Mhm.
it's have y'all played Saints Row? It's the same fucking game. Like I'm looking at
I'm
this.
just tired of that conversation in general, man. Like, it's like are we at the point like where we're just like are we just at the point where people are just being like overtly racist, like straight up, "Oh, it's not a white character, so I'm mad." It's like what what are you talking about? Like where do you how do you even get there that like, "Oh, it's not a white character, so it's woke." It's like is that where we're at? Cuz that makes no sense at all. Period. So, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, man. I watched a couple of videos. They were mad. It was like, oh, look at that. She has the haircut, guys. And I'm like, in this video, and it was a couple of videos that had like thousands of hundreds of thousands of views. So a lot of
Mhm.
people feel like this, or maybe they
Yeah.
don't feel like that. They just saw the video like me. But I, I'm just tired of the narrative. If it's not a straight white guy or whatever,
Mhm.
or a white guy in general, that it's woke. There are different people in the world, or we don't have to represent them all, or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking care. But like when the game does do it, and maybe it didn't do it well, or maybe it does do it well. Can we just stop with the whole woke movement? Like, because now you sound like the people that you hate. Like,
Yeah, really though. I will say though, I mean, it's been shoved so far down people's throats like that it's just literally the anti-reaction. They're just so sick of hearing about it that they're like literally don't it doesn't even need to be mentioned anymore, and they will bring it up because they hate it so much. It's like I don't know. So I just wish people would just shut up in general. Like enough. Stop
yeah,
talking to each other. There's nothing good coming out of it. Just shut up.
yeah,
Like
we're not getting to a solution. Just shut the fuck up.
yeah, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So
All right. Next game that was shown was something called Dune. Uh, very famous sci-fi book series, Dune Spice Wars, which is going to be a PC RTS about controlling spice. which is going to be going in early access in 2022. So another RTS, Montreal. That's like 2-in-1 game showcase. What are we doing here? What's going on? Is the RTS genre alive?
Hey
What's
man,
happening?
it's up to the kiddies, man. The kiddies got to play the game.
I
I,
know.
I I think they're ready for it. I think they're ready for RTS. I think RTS is I think there are a certain group of kids that are ready
Mhm.
for RTS.
RTS is great. Okay, everybody, like try it. I just implore you. Don't play Dota. Don't play League. Those aren't RTS games. Okay, like do yourself a favor. Those games are toxic. Don't play those unless you want to ruin your life. RTS games, real time strategy games, good shit. Try them. I'm telling you, try them. Give them a shot. Like Age of Empires, uh, Age of Mythology, Homeworld, Warcraft 3, not the broken bastardized one that Blizzard released, Reforged, StarCraft 1. Um,
Hell, I even say StarCraft too. The gameplay is good. The story's
don't play
ass.
it competitive. Don't
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
honest. Don't play it and don't play multiplayer like competitively. It's
Unless you have friends that you guys have custom maps for, but that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like the game feels great until you play against people who are trying to win, and then the game feels like shit because
Yeah.
they obliterate you because their build time is like, you know, polished to a perfect sheen. They get their
um, I
12-second
do
fucking hatchery out or whatever.
I do have one recommendation for people who are like new to RTS. I think the Halo Wars is a really
Oh
good
yeah,
RTS to start
hmm
into because it's very light.
yeah.
It's like an RTS light, and you can play it on console. It's very optimized for console play. So
hmm
or in the Ubisoft, I think it's Tom Clancy End War. I think that's what it's called. That's an RTS as well.
Didn't even know
Um,
that game existed.
yeah,
Command and Conquer, also classic RTS series as
yeah,
well.
yep.
You know, it's funny. I'm naming all these off. I've only played I probably haven't even played half of the ones I just named. I've really only played Age of Empires, Warcraft, Starcraft, and a little bit of Age of Mythology. I never really played Command and Conquer, um, even though I should have. But so there's a lot of good
Yeah, man.
RTS out there, though.
Yeah.
Try
Oh
'em.
my god. Yeah, God. Justin, you got to play Tom Clancy's In War. That game is so fucking dope.
Really? How old is
Yes,
that
man.
game? Is that an old game?
It came out in 360.
Okay, so like 2009,
Yeah,
something like
like
that.
they will zoom in on your units, like getting out of like the tanks and stuff like that, and like the little soldier. It's really fucking good. It's a fucking good game. It's a
Hmm.
really fucking good game. I like it. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, uh, yeah, I hope you guys. I hope like some of the newer players and the 16 listeners listen to us. Tell your friends to play RTS games. They're really fucking fun. A lot of it's really chill until shits get real, and I love it. I love that shit. Like it's really
Hmm.
chill, and then everything gets fucking real, and people start building their fucking units and like everything like that, and start attacking each other. It's really fucking fun. So, yeah.
Cool. Cool. Fair enough. All right, moving on. The next game shown was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands once again, and this doesn't make the game look much better than it has in the past. However, they showed a little bit more non-shootery gameplay in it. There's a little bit more like overworld kind of like exploration. Uh, I'd say, which is kind of interesting. I'd say. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Where are you at with this, man? Are you like tired of
I'm not.
Borderlands or
Yeah, I'm tired of Borderlands. I'm Borderlands the fuck out. So I didn't play
okay?
Borderlands 3 because it just I don't know why it just didn't appeal to me. Like Borderlands 2 did. I spent hours on Borderlands 2
Me too, man.
and Borderlands 1.
Hundreds of hours for me
Yeah.
on
Um
Borderlands
s-
too.
so it's like for some reason Borderlands 3 didn't catch me. Maybe because we already had better looter shooters or
Hmm.
yeah, we just had looter shooters.
Borderlands 3 had already been innovated on, or Borderlands 2 had
Exactly.
already been innovated on by the time Borderlands 3 came out. Like it was like too large
Exactly.
of a gap, and they didn't change the game enough to make it
Yep.
fun. And the game then the other problem came in where the story was awful. Like the villains were terrible in Borderlands 3. It was annoying. And then there were all these like celebrity fucking characters they added to the game. The game's just annoying. I just like Borderlands 3 is just it's just an annoying game. I tried to play it like a few weeks ago. I was gonna get back into it, and like level a character and stuff. And I like played it for an hour, and I'm like, why did I want to play this game again? I'm like, I fucking can't with this fucking game. Like, it's just not fun, dude. It's just not a fun game. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I just didn't find it enjoyable, really. So I don't know. I mean, the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands at least has like a medieval setting, and it's like a goofy like D&D thing. So there might be more there. It's not going to be as serious of a game necessarily as like Borderlands 3 was. So they might be able to get me here with this, depending on the gameplay, like the characters you can make and stuff, like the different classes and stuff. Because that was another area that Borderlands 3 really missed on for me was the character classes. They all kind of were boring. Whereas Borderlands 2, like I feel like majority of the characters in that game are fucking iconic. Like Maya, Zero, fucking the Gunzerker, the fucking even Gaij and Krieg. Like they all were just like really cool characters to play. And had really unique abilities and shit like that. Whereas Borderlands 3, it's just kind of a run and gun game for the most part. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
uh
It just I thought I think their ability is the ability still on global cooldown.
yes.
Oh, so yeah, that
Well, you can
such a
only have
turn.
one. You can still only have one ability. There's
Oh
one
yeah,
character in
that's
Borderlands 3 that has two, Zane, and even he's not that fun. I mean, his shit's like boring. It's like literally you just drop like dude, it's all automatic shit, right? Like his abilities aren't like interesting that much. The one of them is you drop a clone down and it shoots things. And then the other one is you drop a sentinel drone down and it shoots things. And then the other one is I think you drop like a turret down and it shoots things. Like they just weren't very creative with the abilities. Like I don't know. So yeah, the game is just a miss in general, but hopefully this one's better. We'll see. All right, next game shown was Among Us VR. Not much to say from me. I never really played Among Us, but what about you?
uh I like Among Us. I'm not gonna play it in VR, but I like it. It's a really fun game. Fun little Friday night game as you put it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna play it in VR though.
Um, the next game is a fucking acid trip. I'm watching this trailer right now, and I don't even know what I'm watching. It's called Doki V, which is a K-pop. It's just like a K-pop music video game. What is this? Are you seeing this shit right now? Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's like the characters are like these little fucking kids that kind of look like Teletubbies almost, but like they like their faces kind of look like Teletubbies. I guess obviously they're not wearing the costume or anything else like that, but they're just like jumping around dancing and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm lost. All right, we're gonna move on before I blow my brains out. Next game shown was Steel Rising.
You said Steel
uh,
Rising?
yes, some sort of alternate take on Revolution era Paris. Not even sure what the game is though.
Oh, is this the no, this is not that game's actually called Pinocchio.
Okay.
All right. There's another game called Pinocchio that looks like Bloodborne had a
Mm-hmm.
fucking baby.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This
it's
one looks
coming in.
cool.
Yeah.
Still
Go ahead.
Rising looks pretty cool though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an action game of some sort. It's kind
Yeah,
of what it looks like.
combats look a little stiff, but I dig it.
Yeah. It's coming in June 2022. So. All right. Next game after that was Metal Hellsinger, which is a first-person shooter, and it
Uh,
looks like. Go ahead.
yeah, it looks like Doom's sister.
Yeah, with damage numbers, like it's like a
Yeah,
RPG Doom.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I think it's like a score, so you're keeping score.
Oh, score. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this looks like a Doom ripoff. Yeah, definitely. Ooh, fair enough. All right, we can keep going here. We're kind of
Yeah,
getting through. We're moving through like the kind of the this is the part you sleep through section of the
yeah.
Game Awards release trailers. There's a Star Trek game, something called Rumbleverse. Not much there. A Plague Tale Requiem, which is the sequel to Plague Tale Innocence, which is a highly critically acclaimed game and also a big seller. But nothing, not one I played. So if you know that game, you know what you're in for. Montrell, you ever play that Plague Tale?
Nah, I wanted to play it, but I just never got around to it.
Fair enough. Then the next game was Dying Light 2, another game that I really don't need to see anything else of. This game, this game's looking real good.
Hey, it's coming out on my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
When's that?
February 4th.
February 4th, 2022.
Yep.
That's our God, dude. That is so close. That's crazy, man. And then the next one after that was Crossfire X, which is a shooter
That's already out.
that is already out. No,
Yep.
it's coming
Yeah,
out
it
on February
is.
10th.
They literally already have a live beta for it. Like the live
Okay,
beta's been for it for about the last
got it.
year.
Okay, but it's
So
not officially released.
yeah, it's not official
But
release, but
it's
it's
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Next game was the Blood Hunt, which is a vampire BR game.
yeah. It's Vampire Fortnite. It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. Well,
I
actually,
feel like if this game
yeah.
had it came out probably before Fortnite, this game would have been like super fucking dope.
Well, dude, do you remember that you remember that fucking that Final Fantasy BR that was on mobile?
Dude, that
That
game
leaked
was
off?
so fucking sweet, bro. You
It's
see that shit?
out. It's out, dude. Like I think you can play it. Like I think it's been out, man. Like we got to play that shit.
It's on mobile though. I don't want to play that shit on mobile. I want to play
I
on like
mean,
PC or something.
well, we should see if it's on PC or something. Because yeah, I heard it's actually good. Like I heard it's actually pretty good. So, okay. Continuing on here, we got something called GTFO 1.0. I have no idea what this is. Looks like another shooter, wave-based shooter game. Oh my god! Like, how many of those can we make possibly as a society? Like, Jesus.
You sound so fucking disappointed.
It's just like, dude, it's like how many no, I'm okay, hold on. A sidebar. I'm sorry. I have to say this. Like, how many times, like how many shooters can we make where your goal is to kill a bunch of zombies? Like, I just I'm sorry. It's just not that interesting of a concept. Like it just isn't. Like whatever.
What do you mean, man? What do you mean? You don't want to kill zombies?
Like,
Yo,
bro,
like
Left 4 Dead 2 did it best. Just leave it. You know, like you're never gonna do it better than that. Even Turtle Rock is learning they can't do it better than their own fucking game. You know, like, come on, man. It's just I don't know. Whatever.
I
Do
don't
what
know,
you want.
Justin. You sound like a hater, man.
Yeah, I
That's
am
where
a
everybody
hater.
else is. You know, other people enjoy those games, Justin.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I can't even get one single Bait and Katos sequel. So, you know, I'm not bitter.
you
All right.
sound pretty bitter to me.
That's the joke. Next thing was shown was a trailer for the Halo TV series, which looks like a Halo TV show. I
Yeah,
guess.
everybody was impressed, but I wasn't really impressed. I was like, yeah, this is what I expect from every show.
I mean, bro, literally all they had to do was have a guy dressed up in the Master Chief costume and go, "I need a weapon," you know, and everyone's gonna go, "Oh my god!" You know, it's like it's fucking like it's so easy to get people hyped, you know.
And then like the narrative is so easy to do. You
Yeah.
have so much stuff to draw from as far as cinematography, like what direction to take the cinematography, what direction to
Hmm.
take the story, the plot. Everything is already laid out for you. There is you would have to even Netflix couldn't fuck it up.
Hmm.
That's how structured Halo is, right? Netflix couldn't fuck this up. So you
Hmm.
would have to you had to have a gift to fuck this series up, like
Yeah.
straight up. You know what I'm saying? So That's why I really wasn't impressed with. Like, I was impressed, but I'm like, this is what I expect. I mean, they have Halo has pretty much an infinite budget, you know,
Mhm.
so I expect it to look really good.
Yeah,
This is like maybe 10, 15 years ago,
yeah.
10 or 12 years ago. Then I would be like, oh my fucking god! But like when we wanted it, but like now, like everyone's doing this, and like I said, Halo's so structured that Netflix can do it correctly. So yeah.
Fair enough. Next thing shown was an Elden Ring cinematic trailer.
Oh god.
The only thing I got out of this was the spooky, cute little witch girl who has one
Okay.
eye.
Okay, just how you are, like, bro. Okay, we know how to fucking hate. We know how. I was so mad when he decided to put world premiere because I was watching this live at this point, and he was
Oh
like
yeah,
world premiere, and I'm like, he's like another Elden Ring trailer, and I'm like,
yeah.
bro, we fucking like
Well, right. Was he?
from Square. You're not the little guy anymore. Like people are gonna buy your game now.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your money. You
Well, yeah. This is like Jeff. Like, dude, like calling this a world premiere in your show is a little misleading. Like, we've seen plenty of Elden Ring at this point.
We've literally played it. There are people who
Yeah,
played it.
it's not a world premiere. Like, okay, maybe it's a world premiere of this trailer, but you're really stretching the meaning of world premiere in like in the case of a video game like trailer show, like a showcase, Like you are really stretching that. So we used to get mad at Xbox about this with the exclusive, thing that they would do all the time. Where they would say everything's a fucking exclusive, even though it's not, it's like, don't end up where they ended up. Okay, just be careful, man. But he won't listen. It's fine. There'll be more of this shit later. Next thing shown was something called Synced Off Planet, which is another shooter. uh I don't know much to say about it.
Yeah,
You
I
got
was kind
anything?
of disappointed in all the shooters we got. I'm I'm
Yeah,
I'm kind of shootered out, you know. So
right. I mean, we got Apex, man. I mean, fuck. What else do we need in our life? Plenty, if I'm being honest. All right, next game show, and this was like the second to last game, was something called Arc Raiders, which looks like a co-op shooter game where you are fighting robots with other people, and you're doing a lot of running. There's a lot of running in this trailer. Um, so, what did you think of this one, Montrell? Does it pique your interest?
nah, not really.
All right, fair enough. And then the end of the show, the very end, was
Oh wait, Arc Raiders. It reminded me. I'm sorry. It did remind me of Lost Planet. I don't know if you guys played that from Capcom.
hmm,
Lost Planet 1 and 2. It reminded me of that before they fucking butchered that franchise and made
hmm,
a fake looking Nicolas Cage looking motherfucker for the third
hmm.
game. But yeah, look, that's what Arc Raiders reminded me of, and I was like, oh, cool. This is like an unapologetic video game. I'm fighting kaiju monsters, so I am gonna be really. I'm probably gonna play it. I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be a
Hmm.
free to play game because it's Nexon, and we all know they make a lot of free to play games. So
Yeah. And to go out with a bang, Jeff had a video, I'm assuming pre-recorded, of Keanu Reeves and Carrie Ann Moss from The Matrix, the new Matrix movie, Matrix Awakens, or sorry, Matrix Resurrection. Yes, the Matrix Resurrection, which is coming out this month. They have made a game to go along with this called The Matrix Awakens. It's actually free. It's an Unreal Engine 5 experience. I'm assuming very short, and
yeah, it's a tech
rather,
demo.
yeah, it's like a tech demo basically. But that was the final announcement. So if you'd like to check that out, you already can. Uh, any interest, Montreal?
Nah, I mean a lot of my friends played it and they said it just shows like the power of the Unreal 5 engine and how powerful it's getting and it's only going to get it more powerful from there. I was very impressed with it with the video. I recommend playing it if you guys can.
Mm,
But if you guys don't have the ability, you just go on YouTube, watch a 4K video of it on YouTube, and you'll see how powerful the Unreal Engine is. It's pretty fucking cool.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, it looked interesting enough. But all right, that's it. That was the show. Montreal. Overall thoughts? How'd you feel about it?
Uh, so I did watch. I watched the entire thing, but I did skip some of the presentation stuff. This I was actually impressed. This one actually was like a legit award show. Like it was like really legit. I think he's doing a really good job. I think next year is
Mm-hmm.
going to get better. He's been doing great, better. He's been getting better and better every year, and I think next year will probably be his best year as far as the award show.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year was kind of thrown off by the pandemic and everything of that nature, but uh, yeah, next year is definitely going to be. Uh, I think we're going to be impressed by it. I was impressed by the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the announcements were he can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, he
Uh,
can. He definitely can. I mean, he runs the show. Like he's the one who gets like the Jeff Keighley owns the Game Awards. Like he 100% decides everything that's shown, everything that is the way the show is presented. He has control over all of it. So he definitely has influence over what's shown. Uh, the thing
yeah, but
is,
I mean, like he can't force developers to show stuff that
no,
that they're not ready to show. That's what I mean.
right?
Like he it's only I'm pretty sure everyone came to him that wanted to show their stuff that was available to show their stuff, and that's why I said that's in that aspect he can't control that. Like some of the announcements were like hit or miss for me,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure he had his best leg forward as far as what he can release. And then we gotta also think of too, like they're probably saving their stuff for their own stream or like E3 or whatever the fuck. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what was here? There was some good stuff here. There was some pretty good stuff. I mean, the Suicide Squad gameplay definitely good. There were some game reveals here, like the Star Wars game, the Expanse game. There was some good stuff in here for sure. There were a couple indie games that probably piqued many people's interest. I'm sure. I think a lot of these games all appeal to different people. Even the Hellblade 2 gameplay, well, gameplay, quote unquote. So there was definitely some good reveals in here overall, and I like the Sonic 2 trailer reveal. Actually, I thought that was a really cool place to show that.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I think that's a good get for him too. I don't think this was a great year for announcements overall. Like there was nothing like jaw dropping at this event. But I don't think. I mean, I think game publishers are at the point that they don't want to show their games at an event like this for the first time unless they know they're going to have the stage, like they're going to be the one that blows everyone's socks off. Like if there had been an end cap, the ending game shown, wasn't it some Matrix game, but it was like, some unannounced like Sony first party game, which Sony would never do. But, if it was something like that, that would have stolen the show this year,
Hmm.
straight up. But they didn't. There was room for that here, I think, in this show. But nobody stepped up and did it. So ultimately, we have to judge this on what was there, and it wasn't like super good. It was just kind of good enough. Like it was good. It was good. It was good enough to the point that I think it was probably worth watching. It's just my thing about this is like it being an award show. It's like 3 hours, man. It's so fucking long, dude. It's a lot
Yeah, and
overall,
that's the
but
problem with like all the award shows. I think this has actually been my issue with all the award shows. They're still running on that old, I call it the old time. Our attention span now is a lot shorter, and I don't know if that's
mhm,
because of everything else. But I need a award show to be like 45 minutes long, bro. Like,
mhm.
get to the point. Hour and a half max. Get to the point. Show your key stuff off. Maybe have like a concert or two in there, and then get to the fucking point. I don't need all these skits or nothing like that. Just and
Right.
every
There's like
award
all
show
these
does it.
musical acts and everything. Like it's
Yeah,
just there's a lot of fluff.
yeah, and it's not just the video game awards. Like hip hop awards do it. Oscars do it. All these like award shows do it, and I think the genre needs to evolve. I think it needs to be a little bit more faster. That's just my opinion.
I think that's fair criticism, but because yeah, I couldn't even bring myself to watch it. I just watched the trailers like before the show, because
Yeah.
that's all I really care about personally. Because like we've talked about before, the actual award part of the show is like a sham. It feels like, like you told me last week, like Tales of Arise won like best RPG of the year. It's like, come on, dude. Like, what is even the criteria? Like who the fuck is voting? Did any of them even play any of the other games on the list? Or are they just voting for the one game they played? And it was Tales of Arise. It's like, come on, man. So
Yeah, but it's like it's one of those things too, right, Justin? Like, are you gonna leave it up to the critics? Because if it was up to the critics, I think they would have chose Cyberpunk.
ooh, yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
So I think they do a combination. I think their system is still flawed, but close to perfect as we can get, where they do a combination of critics and player votes. And Tales of Arise was like right in the middle for everybody. So
Well, my thing is maybe make the player vote worth more, like 40% rather than like 25%,
yeah, yeah,
of the weighting scale. Like maybe increase it a little bit. Not 50%. I think that's a bit much. But like maybe just increase it a bit, like 40%. I think that would be fair, and I think that would allow some games that maybe wouldn't normally win to actually have a chance, like Shin Megami
well,
Tensei 5.
yeah. Okay, that's a really good example. Shin Megami Tensei 5 probably came out a month before the awards, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think that game had a fair shot to a game like Tales of Arise that's been out for about 4 months, four
Hmm.
to 5 months, compared
Yeah.
to like 4 or 5 weeks. So that's an unfair comparison to do.
Mm.
If not, push Shin Megami Tensei to next year. You know, um,
Well, this is the flaw of the award show, though, because like the dice awards happen. I think the dice awards, is that right? Yeah, I think that's right.
yeah,
They
yeah,
happen in like March, dude. So they have a clean 3 months separated from the prior year to actually evaluate everything, to have like enough time for people to have played everything. The way the game awards works is really unfair because some games get completely snubbed from the awards because they just didn't come out on time. They came out in like the middle of November, so they like literally can't be considered because there isn't enough time between them coming out and the show happening for people to fairly evaluate the game.
yeah,
And that sucks because games get snubbed. Like Cyberpunk came out last year. Why was it on this year's awards show? It's because it wasn't on last year's, because it came out in December.
yeah,
Um, so there's nothing that CD Projekt could do about that. Like, so that's kind of my thing is like, honestly, I know December is the time for the show, but it always has felt like a sacrifice of the actual purpose of the show in order to have it in a hot time slot. It's like, just like, dude, like push it to February or something. I
yeah.
don't know.
I agree. I
So
agree.
give these games time to breathe.
Yeah, because I think Shin Megami Tensei would have won hands down over Tales of Arise. I haven't even played Shin Megami Tensei yet, but just the reception around the game, how it's just unapologetically a JRPG, and the dialogue and story and everything of that nature. I think that game would have won over fucking Tales of Arise, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it would have given the critics more time to actually play it too, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 is not the highest priority game that came out in November for most critics. Like
Yep.
it's just not.
Yep.
So, that's another aspect of it as well. So, because that's the thing, like Xenoblade Chronicles, the last two of them have come out in December. And they've literally been snubbed because of that. Like they weren't in the award show, and then the next year they are, but nobody remembers the game because it was a fucking year ago, and it doesn't win anything because get fucked.
Hmm.
Which is annoying to me because Xenoblade games are better JRPGs than probably 95% of JRPGs that come out. So, but that's just me. All right. Anything else you want to add, Montrell, before we go today?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right, fair enough. So, guys, that's going to be it for us. We hope you liked this episode. If you did, please like the episode, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening to it on. And please share it with your friends. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I am at Thundernut01. And the show is at the Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. Montrell, I hope you enjoy your time off. with family. And I guess we'll talk next week.
Yes, sir.
Bye, everybody.